I'm Brandelyn Green. I'm the founder of Voice of Hair, and I just wanted to invite you. I wanted to invite you all to just a special kind of webinar I wanted to do, or sort of like virtual meeting, so that I can just share with you a couple of things that you can do during this cold, flu, coronavirus season to really maintain your health and also to continue to grow your hair. But first of all, I wanted to just thank you for all of your support, and just for trying the product, using the product. And, I also wanted to take a little bit of time at the end to answer any questions you may have about how to use it, what are some best uses and anything like that. Just any questions you may have. But first, I want to just start quickly with 11 foods that you can be eating and also you can use on your hair to help promote hair health, but also when you consume them, you will boost your immunity. So let me just go ahead and get started. And one thing I want to say is you do not need to take notes, because I'm going to be sending you a checklist and some notes from what we're going to talk about here. So the reason why I really want to talk about this is, as we all know, coronavirus is just everywhere, on everybody's mind almost all the time. And I think some of us are even a little bit concerned about what we can do to protect ourselves. Of course, I'm not a medical professional, but there are some simple things that we can do, such as washing our hands, keeping our distance from people. But in order to protect ourselves from getting sick or even getting a simple cold or the flu, there are things that we can be putting inside of our bodies to make sure that we stay healthy. So that's what I want to cover with you now. So right now, first, let's just talk about 11 foods that you can eat to help your hair grow stronger, longer, and healthier, but also for your body to be able to fight off any sicknesses. So like the first one that you may or may not already consume a lot is avocados. These are really high in vitamin B and vitamin E, which really work together at the cellular level to protect your hair and really give it strength. Vitamin B, that whole family of vitamins, is extremely important for the building blocks of our hair, which is protein. So avocados are really healthy, good fat. Personally, I like to slice them up. I make taco bowls, so instead of using the shell, like I'll just take rice and beans and top it with all the toppings, and I add avocado. I add it to my salads. You can add it to your smoothies. The good thing about it is avocados, if you get them from the grocery store, they'll last in your refrigerator for quite a while, like at least 2 weeks. So especially at this time when people are stocking up on foods, it's a great food to add to your list. The second one is eggs. So eggs is something that many of us already eat already, which is great because they're very high in protein, which also they're very high in vitamin B. And again, as I said before, vitamin B is the building blocks of your hair, because our hair is made from a protein called keratin, and vitamin B is what helps make up that keratin. So, having a hard-boiled egg, adding it to your salad, or even for breakfast, you do want to make sure that you're not overdoing it, but, getting one a day or a couple of weeks is really going to help making sure that your hair is making enough of that vitamin B, or your body's making enough of that vitamin B for your hair. The third food that is considered kind of like a superfood for hair is salmon. So everyone, has different ways that they like to prepare, but salmon is really high in fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acid, and it's very high in vitamin D. So vitamin D is also something that we get from going outside and plenty of sunshine. So, if you're not a big fan of salmon, you may want to take those supplements and get vitamin D. It's really important for our hair diet, but also get some fresh air and get some sunshine, because believe it or not, that really does impact our hair, and it really helps to keep our scalp healthy. So do not neglect the salmon. If you are, salmon can be kind of expensive, but the best salmon to get is wild caught. It doesn't have as much of those, preservatives and added color and all that kind of stuff. So just getting good food and good nutrients like salmon, those eggs and avocados, all of that is super important for us to be healthy, but also for our hair to continue to be healthy during this season. Okay, now the fourth one, a lot of people are very surprised by, but bell peppers are probably a better source of vitamin C than oranges. They are a better source of vitamin C than oranges. So bell peppers, and I'm talking about the red, specifically, I'm talking about the red and the yellow bell peppers. Those are really, really great sources of vitamin C. And vitamin C is important because it helps our body absorb the iron and carry the oxygen to our hair follicles, which is necessary in order to promote growth. So we need the vitamin C, and it's a great source. Now, so many different ways you can use bell peppers. I like to sometimes cut it up on salad. I like to put it inside, eat fajitas. I also like to make pepper steak or chicken gravy and rice and put a lot of peppers in it, all of that, obviously some of the best ways to eat your vegetables that I'm referring to here are either through juicing and smoothies or raw. But if you eat them cooked, just don't overcook them, because sometimes the cooking process will take out those nutrients. So you don't want to overdo it. The fifth superfood is sweet potatoes. So sweet potatoes are a really strong source of vitamin A and beta carotene, as well as those omega fatty acids, similar to the omega fatty acids that I mentioned are in salmon. You also find those in sweet potatoes. And I know sweet potatoes are kind of like, depending on where you're from, some people only eat them, at Christmas and Thanksgiving and, in yams. But sometimes, just like a really good, taking a sweet potato, baking it, or even if you throw it in the microwave and adding a little bit of butter, it's so good for you. It's a really quick, easy snack. And also, the vitamin A that is in sweet potatoes actually helps boost our scalp's natural oils. So if you struggle with very dry scalp and dry hair, then you can increase your uptake of sweet potatoes, because the natural oils in our scalp, that sebum, you can increase that by getting more vitamin A in your diet, and you can do that through eating sweet potatoes. Also, sweet potatoes are one of the key ingredients in our diet that help to add luster. So if your hair is dry and it's super dull looking, and you want it to constantly have the shine, of course you can add the hair elixir. But naturally, to be shiny, then it's the vitamin A and it's those omega-3 fatty acids that you're going to need. The next food that you want to just keep in your pantry, especially during this time, is almonds. Almonds are, if you don't have any nut allergies, they're extremely high in fat, fiber, protein, magnesium, and vitamin E. So that's kind of why they're considered a superfood, because they hit so many key ingredients. But all of those ingredients together help us get longer, stronger hair. And I think the reason why all of this is just so important is because yes, there are good products that we can put on our hair, doing the scalp massages, all those things, drinking a lot of water are important for us to have hair growth. But we also have to make sure that our internal systems are healthy. And part of that is having a healthy diet. So almonds are great for that. They also are great for you just on a daily basis, because they help lower your blood sugar levels and reduce blood pressure and lowers your cholesterol levels. So if you are struggling with cholesterol, put down those potato chips and pick up some almonds. And, watch your portions, obviously. Sometimes I think, I think I see a food that I like and I'm like, oh, it's healthy, I can eat as much as I want. But you do have to watch the portions in order for it to still have that nutritional value. So the next food that I want to encourage you to, get back to, this one is like a throwback food for me that I used to eat as a kid, but it's sunflower seeds. So sunflower seeds, actually sunflower oil is one of the first ingredients in our hair elixir, and it's so good for your body internally, but it's also great on your hair, and that's why it's one of the key ingredients in the hair elixir. But sunflower seeds are high in zinc, and they help to promote hair growth naturally. So that ingredient is important. So I know at a time, you know, if you are experiencing shedding or breakage or hair loss, sometimes it's because you're missing some of these key ingredients. So you want to make sure that, you know, you're checking out, hey, am I getting enough of these minerals? And so sunflower seeds are a great snack. You can add it to like a salad and kind of amp it up for flavor, but as well as getting the ingredients, nutrients you need. But the key is with zinc, it's a very important nutrient. And also when I get sick, zinc is one of the first things like that I'll add, you know, just like you take vitamin C, I also will add zinc, but you do want to make sure that you don't overconsume it. So be very careful about the recommended value. A lot of multivitamins that, you know, we may be taking may already have it. So you don't want to go overboard, but you do want to get enough, as well as sunflower oil is very high in vitamin E. Again, helps to add to the luster and the shine that we need in our hair, but it also helps to stimulate blood flow to the scalp naturally. So vitamin E, the vitamin E in sunflowers is good for that. Edamame is a good snack, and it's, you know, you can get it, you can sometimes find it frozen, but you know, it's the little things that you get if you go to sushi restaurants. The beans inside of there are extremely healthy for you because they are a complete protein, and that, again, protein is the building blocks for our hair, keratin. So anytime we're getting a good amount of protein, we are adding to our hair health. Also, another superfood that is on this list is pumpkins. So pumpkin seeds are pumpkins in general are an excellent source of vitamin A, B6, and vitamin C. And pumpkin seeds, they have zinc, magnesium, as well as calcium and iron. So pumpkins, you know, are not just good for Halloween, they're actually really good to consume. I personally don't get a lot of pumpkins in my diet, but I do like, you know, pumpkin seeds as long as it's not overly salted. So if you have ever suffered from hair loss, or you know, or if you are currently suffering from hair loss, then the seeds that are in pumpkins actually are high in amino acids that in an amino acid called cucurbitacin, which is known to be responsible for helping to stimulate hair growth. So if you are suffering from hair loss, you might want to start, you know, figuring out how you can get more pumpkins into your diet. And then the 10th or the 9th superfood that I want to talk to you about is spinach. So, you know, spinach, we know, and it's extremely accessible. You can get it frozen, you can get it fresh. It's something that you can do so many different meals with, but it's high in folate as well as iron, vitamin A, vitamin C, and all of those work together to increase our hair growth. And then vitamin A it helps the skin glands to produce sebum. And again, sebum is the natural oils on our scalp. So if you are suffering with very just dry hair, again, our hair needs sebum, and that sebum goes down the hair follicle to the ends, and it's what keeps it moisturized. But when your hair is kinky and coily, sometimes you struggle with that. But again, spinach is a food that you definitely want to have in your diet. And I know personally, like, I don't even eat regular lettuce anymore. I just try to focus on eating as many of these superfoods. Like if I'm eating tacos, I'll just use baby spinach, you know, instead of lettuce. Or if I'm making a salad, I use baby spinach. I try to use it as much as possible, and you can add it to your smoothies, your fruit smoothies, and you know, you don't even really taste it, but you know you're getting those health benefits. And then the last superfood, number 11, which I actually don't consume, but if you are a person that loves shellfish, you should really consider increasing the amount of oysters. Now, I know it's fancy and it's kind of pricey, so it's not for everybody, but oysters are extremely high in zinc, and they do help support hair growth and repair the hair cycle. And it also helps with the sebum and keeping that around the follicle so that your hair won't be feeling dry. And Also, if you have struggled with dandruff or you just feel like your hair grows really slow, it might be because you are lacking zinc. So again, all of these 11 foods that we just sort of covered are important for hair growth, and just not only our hair growth, but like our diet in general. So that, you don't have to worry about that. I'm gonna send you these notes, and I have like a checklist, and so the next time you are doing your grocery shopping or your meal planning, you can make sure that you are checking off as many of these items as you can. The only one, like I said, oysters and salmon, they could be kind of pricey depending on the time of year and where you're getting it from, but everything else is very accessible. You can get it frozen or fresh, and you will get the benefits. The other thing I kind of wanted to talk about, since we are talking about hair health and boosting your immunity, is there, like I said, the benefit or the key to achieving our hair goals, whether it's longer hair or stronger hair or more moisturized hair, whatever your hair goals are, there are things that we have to do to keep our bodies healthy. And in this season, especially given all that's going around in our climate, there are a few things that we can do to not allow ourselves to get so sick. So the first is, as I mentioned, diet is extremely important. So we covered that a little bit. The second thing that I want to talk about is getting sleep. Now, I personally have a problem with this. I have a 8-month-old baby, and she is not sleeping very well through the night. So I get up many times a night, but sleep is a key factor in a key factor in keeping your immunity and keeping your immune system healthy. And so they recommend that you get about 8 to 9 hours of sleep a day, which is a lot. Like, I don't get that much sleep, but they found that people who get enough sleep, not only they don't get sick as often, but they also live longer. So if you can figure out a way to maybe like go to bed earlier and not not watch that extra show, and you can do that over a consistent basis, you'll be adding years to your life, but you also will protect yourself from being sick. And the reason for that is, like, the body releases certain things that extend the period of sleep, and in those periods of sleep, our body is renewing itself. So anyway, I'm not a scientist in that aspect, but I just want you to know sleep is so important. It's not only important for your health, but it is important for you to maintain your health as well. The second thing that I kind of want to talk about a little bit more that I hit on a bit is you absolutely got to make sure you're getting that vitamin D in. So, I personally do not drink cow's milk, but I had learned when I stopped drinking, dairy and cow's milk and things like that for a while, I was struggling. My hair was falling out, and I was just extremely tired. So I had a vitamin D deficiency and didn't know it. But you can definitely get vitamin D, as I mentioned, through those supplements, as well as making sure you're getting plenty of sunshine. If you live in a place like I do in Texas where there's a lot of sun, but if you're in Chicago and it's cloudy most of the time, then you might have a vitamin D deficiency, and that can also lead to poor bone growth, cardiovascular problems, as well as a weak immune system. So get your vitamin D. You can get it checked if you are not sure. Just have your doctor run all the levels if you can, and get that taken care of. Another thing that you can do to really protect your immunity, especially during this season, is skipping the alcohol. So there was some research done, and it says that an increase in alcoholic consumption over a period of time can increase somebody's exposure to bacteria, which can lead to viral infections. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot drink at all, but this is just based on like a study that was done. So, it's up to you, but maybe reduce if you consume a lot, or if you do that a lot. Probably if you're not going out a lot right now, you're probably not consuming as much as you may have before, but there is some sort of correlation between like drinking a lot of alcohol and getting sicker. So just keep that in mind. But let me see. I've got some notes here and I just don't want to forget. Okay, and then the other thing that you can do, which we know very much, but get moving. So like right now, given that, you know, many of us are working from home, or maybe, you know, we are quarantined for whatever reason, like our bodies need like exercise, and our hair needs it too. Like the blood flow throughout our bodies is important, not only for our heart health, but just our limbs in general. So we need to make sure that during this time that we're getting enough sleep and eating right, but we also got to make sure that we are continuing to get some exercise. And exercise counts even if you're just going for a little walk every day. And if you can't get out, you know, try to walk around your house or wherever you are and just keeping that blood flowing. So those are just the things that I want to share with you. Again, I have some handouts a handout that I made, and I'm going to be sending more information your way. But I just want to share some things that you can do and just incorporate into your diet and your lifestyle now, especially given the current climate we're in. And again, I just thank you for your support. If you have any questions, anything for me, I'm definitely happy. I'm open. You know, this is why I've invited you to join me now. Otherwise, you can always reach me. You can send us an email at help@voiceofhair.com, or when we text you, when you place your orders, you probably have gotten a text message from us. Hit us up and respond back to us and let us know. But let me just check to see, are there any questions? Oh, yay. Okay. I never saw your comments before, but did you have any questions? Like, is there anything else, whether it's about the product or the brand or anything that I can answer? Again, I'm not a medical professional, but I definitely want to try to do more, you know, of these sort of interactions and make sure that I'm offering as much value to you as possible. So, okay, no questions. So again, I appreciate you for joining me. And I know there may be other things that come up. Feel free to hit me up, but I'll send you a copy of this recording, and then I'll also send you a download of the things I talked about. And then next time you're shopping, you can add those things. So that's it for now. And I will be in touch. Again, thank you for taking your time out. And I just pray that you and your family stay safe and that you're doing well. All right. Have a good evening.